Welcome back to another video, everyone. In this video, I'm going to break down the risk calculator. So right here, I have the risk calculator. This is shared with you guys. You guys can upload this on Excel, numbers if you have a Mac, or you can use it on Google Drive. You can open up Google Sheets and you can get this for free. Now, let me break down how it works and how you can use it. So now, if you guys take a look here, all you have to do is you have to plug in some numbers and the calculator will automatically tell you how many shares you can buy. It'll tell you your reward to risk ratio right off the bat as well. So basically, right here in number one, you guys are required to put your account size. What is your account size? So let's say my account size, for argument's sake, is 10,000. I will change this number to 10,000. That's the first thing. The second thing is my account risk. How much am I risking per trade accordingly to my account size? So let's say I want to risk 1% or 2%, I can update that right here. Let's just say I want to change it to 2%. So I put 2%. Right off the bat, it says my max loss on a trade should be $200. I should not have a bigger loss than $200 per trade. Now, that's the only thing I have to plug in on this side. Number three is something I don't have to plug in. You leave that blank, right? This is something that's automatically done on its own. Next, the next thing I have to plug in are right here. Number 10, 11, and 12. What is number 10, 11, and 12? Let's break it down. So after you have this established, you should jump to right here. Now, let's say you go on a stock chart and you see a stock is trading at 10. You want to put your stop loss at 9, and you want to put your profit target at 13. You use this area to plug in those numbers. So I might say, hey, my entry price is 10.25. My stop loss is, let's say, 8.72. My profit target is 12.74. Once I put that in, what happens is this part automatically formulates that. It tells me how much am I expecting to make on the trade if it goes my way. And remember, it's not always going to go your way the perfect way, right? Stop loss per share. How much am I going to lose per share if I'm wrong? And then it tells us our reward to risk ratio, which is under 2, which this right here is obviously not good, right? Like I mentioned before, we want at least 2 or more. In this situation, even if you look, we're risking $1.53 to potentially make $2.49. Not a good trade. Now, the way the position sizing aspect works is if you guys look right here, this tells us we are only allowed to buy 130 shares of this stock. If we buy 130 shares at $10.25, we are investing this much. This is how much our cost will be. How did it formulate that? It multiplied 1025, right, by 130, and it got this number. The next number is our number of shares, as I mentioned. It's telling us we can only buy 130 shares, and the way it's calculating this, it's taking our entry point, right, and our stop point, right, which is $1.53, and it's dividing $1.53 by our max loss, which is 200. And what this is telling us is if we take this trade, this is how much we are basically going to lose, and this is how much we are basically expected to make if the stock goes to 12.74. Now, obviously, looking at the reward to risk ratio, it's not a good sign. So if it's not a good sign, if I don't see anything above 2, I personally don't take the trade. I want to have at least 2 to 1. I want to be making 2x more than my potential loss. So keep that in mind. Now, what you guys are not going to do is you guys are not going to say, well, you know what? Let me move up my stop loss to 950. If I move up my stop loss to 950, my reward to risk ratio gets over 2. It is now 3+, which is good. I can even buy more shares. That's even better. Do not make up these numbers, guys. Take these numbers from a chart and then plug them in. Another thing, let's do one more example. Let's say I'm entering at 11.74. My stop loss is at 1040, and my profit target is at like 1480. Once again, right when I plug these numbers in, automatically, do I have a good reward to risk ratio? Yes. Number of shares, I can buy 149. Cool, gonna go buy 149 shares. If I'm wrong, I lose about $200. If it hits my potential profit target, I make $456. And this is my position value. Once again, get actual hard numbers, right? Get this from the chart. Now let's say we're shorting. For shorting a stock, once again, we're anticipating that the stock's price is gonna go down. So let's say the stock is at 11. So we wanna short at 11. Our entry point is at 11.20. If our entry point is at 11.20, let's say our stop loss is, for argument's sake, at 13, and our profit target is, let's say, at 5. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in the same numbers. So remember, we're shorting, this is our stop, and this right here is our profit potential. So all we're gonna do, we're shorting at 11.20, my target price is 5, right? And my stop loss right here is 13. This is my stop loss. Now, when I do that, what you guys have to understand is this is kind of going to put some things out of order, but just stay with me and I'll break it down. This is going to get negative. This is going to get negative, right? This is negative because, once again, we're shorting. These are going to be negative. But what we care about is, the only thing we care about is this right here. Is it above 3? Yes, it's above 3. How much are we potentially making if we're right? We make $6.20. If we're wrong, we lose about $1.80. How many shares are we shorting? Negative 111. Since we're shorting, it's going to showcase negative. This is also going to be negative because, remember, we're shorting. And then if this is 2 or more, that's a good reward to risk ratio, and that's giving us a phenomenal trade right there. Just last things with the calculator. As you guys progress in trading, especially when you're trading day trading, you're not going to have time to go on this calculator, plug everything in. The whole idea of this is for you to play around, for you to understand how many shares you can buy, what your risk tolerance should be based on your account size, and actually track your metrics and kind of have a visual image of everything. But I do not advise you guys to keep this up before you trade and slow down your trade process. For example, if you're trading, shouldn't have this open and say, okay, how many shares can I buy each and every single time? Play around with it, get comfortable. The more you play around with these numbers, the quicker you're gonna get with them. So when you are trading at a very fast-paced environment, you should and you will get to a point where you immediately know how many shares can I buy, how many shares can I short, and obviously it won't be exactly 111. It'll maybe say 110 or maybe 100 or 120, but you'll be around that range and you'll be able to better position size automatically at that level.